B Marsh Boxing, what's happening, world? We back at it with another post-fight review. WBC vacant cruiserweight title on the line. Bout was held in Kinshasa, Zaire. Ilungu Makabu, the native son from Kinshasa, Zaire, versus Michael C. Yes, indeed, Michael Cieslak from Poland. I believe he was 17-0 coming into this fight with 13 KOs. You know what I mean? Ilunga Makabu was 25-2 with about, I believe, like 24 KOs. You know what I mean? So only one man gone the distance in every fight that he's won versus Makabu. You know what I mean? Now, this was a fight, not too sure these guys' dimensions, but clearly the Polish guy, Michael Cieslak, was a much taller guy, you know what I mean? And he was doing this thing in the first couple rounds, He was fighting tall, you know what I mean, using his jab. Um, it was, the first round was a feeling out round, you know what I mean? Both of them palmed with the jab. But Cieslak, I gave him credit for throwing this straight right to the stomach, you know what I mean? To the pit of the stomach, using his jab, also going to the head. So I gave him round one, even though it could have gone either way. Round two, Mike Cieslak was going to work, you know what I mean? He had a straight right hand that wobbled Junior Makabu, you know what I mean? He's landing left hooks to the body and to the head, you know what I mean? And left and right uppercut. Junior Makabu wasn't that aggressive and active in that round at all, you know what I mean? Basically had his hands in his pocket or basically just in a high guard, you know what I mean? But one thing about Junior Makabu, if you've seen his fights before, he's a guy who always keeps a poker face. He's a very patient guy. He believes in his power. He knows he has power, but he doesn't try to show that from the get-go. It was almost something similar to what Deontay Wilder did with Luis Ortiz in the second fight. Very patient. Well, that's what Ilunga Makabu brings to the table. You know what I mean? Round three was a close round, and could have gone either way. You know what I mean? Um, the first half was Junior Makabu. You know what I mean? He was setting the pace with his jab. You know what I mean? But the second half, I'm sorry, Mike was winning the first half of the round three. The second half of the round, I gave it to Junior Makabu. Could have gone either way. Close round, you know what I mean? Jab to the stomach, left hooks by the man Makabu. You know what I mean? The man Mike Cieslak was fighting tall, keeping his jab, pumping it out there. You know what I mean? But round four was also a close round up until Junior Makabu starts hitting Mike with the body shots. Mike Cieslak was getting caught with the body shots to the point where he turned his back like he ain't want no more punches, you know what I mean? And when he did that, he didn't see them two left hands, almost something like Mayweather versus Ortiz. You know what I mean? He ain't see them punches coming. Two left hands, left hooks basically dropped the man, and that's a 10-8 round for Ilunga Makabu. So I've given Makabu rounds 3 and 4 after was down the first two, you know what I mean? So rounds 5 and 6, it was all Makabu, except round six could have gone either. Excuse me, round five could have gone either way. You know what I mean? But round six, Makabu was busting him up with the jab. You know what I mean? Cutting off the ring, using his angles. You know what I'm saying? Just straight following the guy. And the guy Mike Cieslak got into a bad habit all of a sudden after he got dropped of crouching down to Ilunga Makabu's height. You know what I mean? Basically doing what Makabu was doing when he closed the distance. Makabu would make himself real small, get in them tight quarters, and start letting his hands go. So this guy, Mike Cieslak, got into a bad habit. Whenever this guy Makabu cut off the ring, cut off the distance, and got closer, you know what I mean, dictating the range, the guy started making himself pretty small, and he was getting tagged with all kind of shots, you know what I mean? Busted up with the jab, you know what I mean? Around eight, Makabu's putting his punches together, you know what I'm saying, with combinations, cutting off the ring, catching all night. He was catching a lot of punches on the glove. That's why he was able to walk down his opponent, you know what I'm saying? A lot of those punches were getting caught on the glove. Makabu was walking him down, kept a poker face. Round 11, I did give it to Mike Cieslak. You know what I mean? Cieslak had some nice right hands in there. He kind of changed up his punch variety finally. He was throwing some body shots every time Makabu closed the distance. But in order for the Cieslak to do that, he'd have to crouch low. So he'd get in low and making himself shorter than what he really is to throw the body shots. And he was getting counted over the top, you know what I mean? So Makabu was in there to win this fight. I had him winning this fight 8 rounds to 4, 116 to 111 because of the knockdown in round 4. You know what I mean? There was only one knockdown. And Makabu was the new cruiserweight champion, you know what I mean? This title was supposed to be held by, I believe, Marius Breedis. You know what I mean? If I'm not mistaken. Marius Breedis, or the fight, or the belt was supposed to be on the line in that fight between Marius Breedis and Glowacki. It was a whole kind of mix up, mess up. It doesn't matter now because we do have a new champion in the cruiserweight. Big ups to Ilungu Makabu, one of the few champions we do have coming out the continent of Africa right now. Hopefully he can hold this title longer than guys like Ndongo or Joseph Coleman. Even though Ndongo had a good run, he had a good run to make it all the way to an undisputed fight, unifying titles. You know what I mean? Isaac Dogbe, he got beat up by Navarrete. We ain't heard or seen of him since. You know what I mean? This is a guy coming out the Congo. They got a rich boxing history over there. Not so much of producing so many heavyweight champions. I'm sorry, just world champions, period. But just the Rumble in the Jungle inspired a lot of people. Guys like Sambu Kalambe, great fighter from the late 80s, early 90s, you know what I mean? WBA middleweight champion, you know what I'm saying? A guy who beat Mike McCollum, he's from the Congo. You know what I'm saying? Who else? There's somebody slipping my mind right about now. Um, But they mostly manufacture these kind of cruiserweights. That's what the Congo's doing right about now. You know what I mean? There's another guy, Yves Gambu. Them fellas is from, I think he's from the Congo as well. You know what I mean? Of course, you got Martin Bokole, Ilungu Makabu. I don't know if it's his real brother or half brother or step brother. I don't know. He's from the Congo. And of course, we got, to me, one of the greatest cruiserweight fighters of all time, Ancelet Wamba. He's out of the Congo, you know what I mean? Mostly based in France for his boxing career. But he's a man from the Congo or the Zaire or the Democratic Republic of Congo. So, the broadcast I seen, it was in Polish, so I couldn't really hear. They didn't announce the first and foremost, the guys in the ring, they announced scores in French Lingala, you know what I mean? So I didn't get to hear what the scorecards were. And also the commentary, it was a Polish commentary feed that I was watching, and you could tell they were trying to drown out the sound of the crowd in the Kinshasa Zaire Stadium, you know what I mean? They were trying to drown out the sound of the live crowd, so really couldn't tell what kind of live atmosphere it was compared to, I remember a fight between, was it what's the guy's name? It was Isaac Dogbe versus, what's his name? The guy who fought Nonito Donaire. Uh, Juarez or Suarez? Juarez, somebody Juarez, and that fight was over there in Ghana and Accra, and that crowd was electric. It was lit, you know what I'm saying? So this Polish commentary and feed, they definitely tried to drown out the crowd noise, maybe to try and make it look like they got Cieslak was doing okay in there, but he lost this fight fair and square. There's no hometown cooking, hometown robbery. For Ilungu Makabu, and that's what I mostly wanted to watch this fight for, to pay attention, to fights that are countries where we don't get to see fights, period, let alone world title fights. I want to see what the judging's going to be like, and they got it right. You know what I mean? So, B. Marsh Box, leave your thoughts and comments. Let me know what y'all think about Ilungu Makabu, the new WBC Cruiserweight Champion of the world. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can see him get in there with the winner of Marius Breedis versus Junior Dortico, so maybe in a fight with Glowacki. I mean, mix it up in there, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he can come to USA, even though there's no money really in the cruiserweight market in the States, you know what I mean? But, get himself a fight with anybody in the States on American TV, you know what I mean? Try to expand his profile and his marketability, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see Don King his promoter up there tonight. I don't know if he was there in Kinshasa, Zaire, to support his fighter. I'm not sure, but the right man won, and I'm happy about that. Be Marsh Box, leave your thoughts and comments, and I'm out of here. Peace.